Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. I saw my husband caught with a woman in a picture while scrolling a local influencer's link. He was supposed to be out of town. I don't know what to do. We just had our baby 6 weeks ago, and when he told me about his business trip, I got a little upset because I'm all alone here and this is our first child, so I don't know what the H we're doing most of the time. I couldn't just refuse to let him go, however, because I knew when I met him that traveling is part of his job, so he left. He's very supportive otherwise. Very happy about being a father, and he called us maybe 5 to 6 times a day to see if we're doing alright. Last night I was scrolling down and there he was in the background of a local celebrity I followed, sitting in a restaurant with his friend from uni. The woman who always disliked me and who he told me not to worry about. He's been on this trip since Monday and is supposed to come back on Monday. I'm so heartbroken. I don't know what to do. I will obviously talk to him when he gets home, but what are my options afterwards? I'm a stay-at-home wife right now and I haven't worked since I graduated 5 years ago. My husband makes a good living and he didn't think me working was a necessity. I don't have a family except him. If I leave him, how am I going to fend for my son? Who is going to take care of him if I start working? I feel so trapped. Edit. I'm so overwhelmed with the amount of messages and support. I'm going to make it clear here that I'm not going to jump into any conclusions yet. I just had my suspicions about the friend and I was always wary of her. I'm going to give my husband the benefit of the doubt, of course, but unfortunately my gut feeling is telling me this is what I'm dreading the most. Thank you. Screenshot IT in case she deletes IT. I agree with the screenshot just in case my husband denies it. Wish I had a nickel for every time we just had a baby and now my husband is cheating story comes up on Reddit. I genuinely don't know how common of a situation this is, pretty terrible if so. I'm beginning to think that there are men out there that plan for a baby so their partner is distracted. Or trapped. The things Op is worried about are pretty common concerns. A woman may be more likely to look the other way on infidelity if she feels like she has no other financial or social support for her and a young child. It's something like 82% of cheater men start cheating after their first child with a partner. I saw my husband with a woman in a picture while scrolling a local influencer's link. He was supposed to be out of town. Hello again, I'm so happy I found you guys here. My husband is home now. It was what I feared. I don't know if I did a terrible job of explaining the situation in my last post. But the influencer lives in our city and she was in a restaurant in our city. My husband was supposed to be out of town on business. I took the advice you gave me about influencers not usually posting same-day pictures, but it still struck me as odd because he has never mentioned having dinner with this friend. I tried to contact the influencer but she has over 1.5 million followers. As I said, my husband's work includes a lot of traveling and he usually does a video tour in his hotel room for me or sends me some pictures. This time he didn't, so yesterday when he called I asked him to FaceTime me to see our son. He told me to wait because the room was messy and he called after 5 minutes. We talked and he saw our son and then I asked him for a mini tour. He showed me some parts and I took some screenshots. My husband laughed about me taking screenshots and was a bit confused. It isn't that unusual for me to do anyway, so he didn't make a fuss. I later went to hotels.com and started comparing pictures. I found the hotel within 15 minutes. It's less than 10 minutes from our place. It was a bit late but I took my son and went anyway. The front desk didn't want to tell me what room he was in. I asked her to tell him to come down but she refused to do that too since it was midnight. I texted him to come down to the reception. When he came down he was like he was seeing a ghost. I told him to take me to his hotel room now. He refused and asked me to go home and that he would explain everything later. I told him if he didn't take me to his room now and without warning his friend I would scream. I don't know why I wanted to see her. It's like even after finding out he's been in town all this time and even after seeing the look on his face I still wanted to catch them to drive the message home, so my heart doesn't cave to his excuses and explanations that he was already starting on. He refused, however, to take me up. So I just left with my baby. He came home maybe an hour after me and he wanted to talk and explain when I'm ready. I'm not ready yet. I asked him to move out and leave me be for the time being. He agreed. I don't know why he did this. Why did he marry me? I'm 29 and he's 39. His mistress is 39. She's a single mom and they're more compatible and they get along very well. And they obviously love each other, so why didn't he just be with her instead and save us all the heartbreak? Honestly, what's wrong with people? More update. I'm sorry, I don't want to make any more updates. My husband has agreed to move out of our apartment. Since we have a prenup, I'm essentially not entitled to anything, but he has offered the apartment since I have nowhere to go. I told him I needed more assurance that the apartment is for me and my son. He's going to transfer the deeds in my name, whatever that means. I'm also going to get alimony or allowance or whatever it's called until my son is old enough to start looking for jobs. All of this conversation was recorded. On Monday I'm going to talk to a lawyer to make sure what my husband promised me is going to happen. In return, he asked me for separation and not divorce for 2 years. I agreed. About the other woman, I don't know if it's worth my energy to find out more. They have been FWB when they're single but never had a relationship. They've known each other for 20 years. I didn't want to hear anything about them. I always had my suspicions. He made the usual excuses about her meaning nothing. It was a mistake and this was their first time because he felt neglected because I wasn't as interested in him as before the baby. He swore he never slept with her during our marriage until this week. I don't believe him. If they end up together I wouldn't be surprised, even though he assured me it will never happen because he doesn't love her. The hotel was less than 10 minutes from your house but he showed up like an hour late. Instead of running after you. Obviously he had to go to her to talk about the plan with her. PFFFFF idiot. Exactly. There is nothing left to say to him. Don't listen to the shit, get a lawyer. Split. And start the divorce proceedings. Separation for 2 years instead of divorce could hurt you depending on the prenup and your state laws. You may end up with nothing if you wait. Talk to a lawyer ASAP. He is so far below the scum of the earth. Yeah, that part made me suspicious. I'd look over the prenup to see if there's some kind of clause about separation before divorce. Maybe it voids alimony or something. What I was thinking. He could easily say it's not cheating because she initiated a separation and she refused to try to reconcile. Shit, I wouldn't put it past him. Whoa. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.